Welcome to Mot Money. I'm your co-host Luis Acevedo, and founder of Mot Media. And with me today is James, my new co-host. How's it going, James?
It's going pretty good. How you doing today, Luis?
Good, man. I'm doing well. Got to spend some time with the family today. Something that I don't get to do as often as I would like, at least in the capacity that we spent with each other today. So that was pretty nice. Good change of pace. So, yeah, that was nice. We went out to eat, got some ice cream, hung out, and
Heck
yeah,
yeah, that's always fun.
yeah,
Yep.
man. So, um, but we do have some interesting stuff we're going to talk about today, but we'll give it a little bit of time, let some people come on in, see if more people trickle in. But what about you, man? What have you been up to this weekend?
Uh, you know, living the dream, doing yard work.
There you go. Yeah, it was a beautiful day for it, at least here in Ohio. Over 80 degrees today at some point. So that was really cool.
Yeah, it was pretty hot out there.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm fiending for summertime, man. I'm fiending for the warm weather.
Yeah, me too. But you can't skip spring. It felt like it just skipped spring and went right to summer.
Yeah,
That's
this is true.
almost.
This is true. I'm totally fine with skipping spring, though. I mean, we can skip spring, go right to summer. I'm cool.
I'm not a fan like me. I need that cooler temperatures to where I can get my yard work done.
Gotcha.
I take pretty good care of my yard. I
Nice, nice.
guess I'm old dad, huh?
Get off my lawn. Is that what you tell the kids when they run by?
Hell yeah.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, I guess we can get started in what we're going to talk about. So, James, if you actually want to start it off this week talking about the topics you have, then we can go over to the crypto side of things, switch it up a little bit.
Okay. Well, I just want to bring up one thing because I think our discussion in the crypto is going to be a pretty good one. And like I said before, I'm a big proponent of crypto being the future, currency. It's not stock advice, but I just would want to start off with that the airline industry. I think is going to make a quick come up. Uh, Not financial advice, but United Airlines is scheduled to post their best earnings in company history for quarter two. Not financial advice.
And why do you think that they're going to be reporting their best earnings? Like, what's changing up in the airline industry that would cause this?
COVID, that's going away. They just got rid of the mask mandates. They said that their demand is getting close to pre-COVID numbers.
Okay.
Um, Let me see here. Um, it closed on Friday at 46.52 a share, and before November of 2019, it was 91.52 a share.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. So that is big news when they did away with the mask mandates, and I'm sure a lot of people were open up to travel again. I know that, for instance, I had a job interview last summer or around last summer in Miami, and I did not fly because I refused to wear a mask. I have not worn a mask during this whole thing.
Yeah,
So I
me too.
refused to. So when I made the trip down to Miami, I was like, I am not going to wear a mask on a plane. So I'm just going to drive there. So I drove because I refused to wear the mask. So I'm sure a lot
Yeah.
more people are going to be like, yeah, well, I guess I'll take an airplane to go somewhere now because I don't have to wear the mask. And that, I don't know how long it'll last though because of inflation, right? So, like, how much are people
Well,
willing to
they're they're
spend to go traveling?
they're keeping that into account. Right now they're paying like 2.78 per gallon for their fuel, which with them being the airline, they get a discount on the fuel prices. Um, and they expect that gas to go up to $4 a gallon for them. But
Oh,
they just
wow.
believe that people, since COVID ended, people are more comfortable coming out of their houses and traveling and, getting back to normalcy.
Right. Now, do you think that the airlines will switch over to electric or maybe some other more fuel effective, or I don't know if you want to say it's protecting the environment, depending on where you stand in that position? Just that's a general statement. Um, I mean, do you see them like doing things to mitigate this cost? Because if the cost keeps going up, then obviously the tickets are going to keep going up. And if the price of everything's going up, I don't know if that's really going to help their stock in the long run. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Well, if you look at companies like Tesla, they're coming out with all their battery powered EVs. I could see something happening, but the technology I don't think is there yet for battery powered airplanes. Have you seen one?
Not that I'm aware of, but let me see. Let me see if I can look up a EV airplane. There may be something.
Yeah, and Tesla, they beat their earnings, or yeah, they beat their earnings. They just released them last week, and they're talking about a fully autonomous taxi.
Oh yeah, that's right. Tell us a little bit more about that, because I know that that's one of the things that you wanted to really talk about today.
Yeah, so they're claiming that they'll be able to have a taxi with no steering wheel and no pedals. By the year 2024, they're going to start producing it.
Oh, wow.
But the thing is that they promised that the normal Teslas on the road now would have the same capability to autonomous driving, but you still got to have a person in the car.
Right.
Um,
So this this taxi is still going to have a person in the car.
no, it's going to be fully autonomous. There's no steering wheel, no pedals at
Oh,
all.
wow.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
pretty crazy.
And do you know where they're going to start like testing it at, or is it just going to be at their facility, or will
Um,
they get approval in certain states? Because I think Nevada, if I'm not mistaken, is a state that has pretty lenient when it comes to autonomous vehicles and test driving, but I could be wrong.
no, you're right, and the lawmakers say that that's going to be pretty impossible to do because he wants to ramp up production in 2024,
Right.
and they're saying with legislation or not legislation, with regulations, and they don't think it's going to happen because of the
Yeah.
regulations.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, and also Elon Musk is notorious for setting a date and failing to miss that date.
Yep.
But I get it.
Andy's
It's a part of a
Andy,
marketing scheme.
yeah, Andy's notorious. Like, all right, so people are saying that he should stay away from that autonomous taxi and just keep working on a more affordable Tesla for the American people. The
Right.
Tesla Model 3 was expected to cost $35,000, and that was supposed to be like the people's car,
Mhm.
but that ends up being like $49,000 base cost. Like,
Right. Yeah, I
so
looked
he
into
said
getting
it's to
one
be
of
one
those, and
price
it
and
just
it's another price. Yeah.
right. So, I mean, we'll see how it really works out. And if we are going to be facing what some believe we'll be facing, which is like a silver shortage and an increased use of copper because of this electrification that's taking place, well, it would only make sense then that the electrical vehicles are going to cost more.
Yeah, inflation is crazy right now.
Yeah.
And talking about the stock market on Friday, the stock market crashed more than it has in almost 6 years.
Jeez.
Yeah, and I didn't do too much research into that why it crashed so much, but
I'm not too sure. I think that didn't they raise interest rates?
oh yeah, they raised interest rates to slow down inflation.
Yeah, so maybe that's why. I don't know though.
Yeah, I was reading something about that.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
just
Did
thought
you
about
find
it.
any? Go ahead.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Nothing. I was gonna say, did you find anything about that electric airplane engine?
Oh yeah, let me see. I still have it pulled up here. It looks like it. Let me share my screen. Looks like there was a electric airplane.
Not a remote control one.
No, no. Let's see. Right here. So it says the first flight electric plane yet completed its first flight, but it's batteries that matter. So it looks like there is one,
Yeah.
but
I
it's
mean,
still very new.
like I said, I think they can do it. You just the technology is not there yet. That's a small plane. You could probably transport, a couple people on there. But as far as like airlines and jumbo jets and stuff, I think we're like 15, 20 years off of that kind of technology.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, there's a lot of work that has to be done still when it comes to just cars, automotive vehicles. So it's like
Yep. You
to
you got
make
to
that
start at
leap,
square one first.
right? So I mean, hell, even electric scooters, right? So we'll see.
All right.
We'll see.
Well, I got some things to ask you because your topic is pretty interesting to me as well. It's about Pulse Dogecoin and
Yep.
Maximus Cash. Um, if I did my research right, are they the first like cryptos that are gonna have a set mining limit?
They're not the first ones to do it, no.
Okay.
But so basically, they're deflationary. From when Pulse Dogecoin is deflationary. Maximus, I'm not sure is, but yeah, they are not the first ones.
Okay.
Because Bitcoin, for example, is supposed to have a set amount that you can mine ever, and that's supposed to be
Oh,
21 million. However, that isn't true because the limit is based on consensus, social consensus. Whatever the miners would want to mine is how many bitcoins there could be. So it's not like hardwired in the code.
yeah. Well, all that stuff becomes the hex. What is the hex blockchain? I think is what you call it.
Yeah, so that's a really good question because both of these coins are being rewarded free to hex stakers. So hex is not a blockchain. Hex runs on the Ethereum blockchain. Hex is a smart contract. It is a really simplified way of explaining it. It is the best crypto savings account you could have
Yeah,
because
it says that it's only given out to like the elite crypto holders, but they're not saying like you don't have to be the richest person or whatever. It's just the people that are involved in hex.
yeah. So to explain that a little bit, so Hex, we'll go to Hex's website. I'll share Hex's website with you guys because I think it's a good place to start when we're talking about these two coins because these two coins are awarded for free to Hex stakers.
Okay, and how are these two coins? Also, how are these two coins so beneficial?
Yeah, let's I'll answer that in a second, but I want to give a little background on Hex. That
Okay.
way people understand this because I
No,
think
you're
it's
helping me
fundamental.
understand too.
So this is the Hex website. So Hex stakes average 38% returns a year. It's the first blockchain certificate of deposit, has high returns, no minimum, a decentralized design. This is how many wallets are in it. And it's essentially done a 10,000x in under 2 years, which is faster than both Ethereum and Bitcoin. Um, this is a diamond the world's most expensive diamond called the Enigma that the founder of Hex actually bought for the culture of Hex. But then, there's also a NASCAR driver for Hex. But anyway, so basically what Hex is, you can actually watch one of these videos. It'll do a better job.
The invention of cryptocurrencies brought us alternatives to the traditional financial system. Hex is the next step in that evolution, designed to replace high-interest time deposit savings accounts. Stake your Hex coins for a fixed time period, and once your stake expires, Hex pays you the interest you're owed. The longer lockdown period you choose, the higher interest rate you receive. Hex is a smart contract built on top of the Ethereum network, providing you trustless, decentralized interest without any banking fees or middlemen. Bitcoin miners generate about 650,000 coins a year in total. They have to sell most of it to cover their high electricity costs, forcing down the price of Bitcoin on the market. Rather than paying miners, Hex pays the stakers instead, who have no mining costs pushing down the price of Hex. And the more people stake their coins, the less will be available on the market for buyers, which in turn increases the price of Hex. However, if less people stake, then the contract automatically increases the amount of interest earned by the remaining stakers. This balance ensures that it's always beneficial to be a staker. You can already buy Hex on a growing number of exchanges. If you are a Bitcoin holder, why not hold your investment in an asset that actually rewards you for holding?
So that's an introduction into what Hex is. There's another video here. So, I could go on and explain it, but these videos do a pretty good job at succinctly explaining this.
The successful among us delay gratification. The successful among us bargain with the future. Realizing any of our financial dreams comes at a cost, a sacrifice made short-term to enjoy a prosperous tomorrow. The cryptocurrency Hex incentivizes you to delay gratification and stick to your goals. Hex monetizes your time. As a time deposit, Hex pays higher interest rates the longer you commit. Longer pays better. Stake your Hex coins for a chosen duration, and once your stake matures, Hex pays you the compounded interest. The autonomous, decentralized Hex smart contract rewards those that complete their chosen time and punishes those that quit with penalties. Hex keeps score. Launched in December 2019 as a finished product, Hex is fully operational today. For a start, take a small amount and check back in a year how Hex is performing. You will be amazed. Any duration between 1 day to 15 years is possible. How long do you want to stake?
So that's Hex in a nutshell. It explains it pretty succinctly. Do you have any questions about that? Because there's, a simplified, it's a condensed version. There's a lot that goes into Hex.
No, I know there's a lot that goes to it. I was looking into it earlier, but I want to touch on the fact of the trading, how long you trade for the long term on what we were just talking about. That Maximus coin, they have a 5,555 day stake with their Hex in Maxi. I don't understand how that works. So you have to keep your coin or build your coin in there for 5,555 days.
Yeah. So what they're doing essentially, from what I understand, is it's a collective of individuals coming together and staking essentially Hex for 5,555 days or 15 years.
Okay.
And in exchange for that, you get the Maxi token, which allows you to liquidate when you want without getting rid of the Hex. And so that Hex, from my understanding, is locked up for the 15 years because they're buying the actual Hex and then staking it through the smart contract that is Hex.
Okay.
So it provides stakers an opportunity to have early liquidity Otherwise, they would not have early liquidity, as I am a staker and I have 15-year stakes in Hex. Those 15-year stakes with Hex alone, I can't touch for 15 years unless I pay heavy penalties.
Okay. Yeah. Now what fuels all of these cryptos? What the blockchains? What fuels them? I read something about the gas. You know,
Yeah, so what exactly do you mean fuel?
well, whenever you say gas, you think it fuels something. So, like, what's
Yeah,
the gas?
so gas just is the same thing when you pay a transaction fee on an ATM machine or something. So you're just paying to use the network.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, like, basically, like, what technically fuels them is power, energy, and the internet. And then what comes after that is a belief that blockchain is a good way of creating censor resistant currency.
So this Pulse Dogecoin. I was reading that there was only supposed to be 12 million of them mined.
Yeah.
I thought there was a cap on that.
Yep.
That's why I thought, it was unique. But I didn't know that other cryptos supposedly already do that.
Yep.
But like you said, with
Bitcoin's one of them. Yep.
yeah. But like you said earlier, they just keep mining them,
If they want to. I mean, there has to be a consensus, and it's not as easy as just being like, all right, everybody, we're making more than 8.
So it's supply. Yes. Supply and demand.
Yes. But there's a culture. I mean, we can get into more nuanced conversations specifically with Bitcoin, but if we want to stay on this topic for Pulse Dogecoin, that's fine. So this coin is also rewarded to the Hex stakers for free. So if you're staking Hex, you will get these coins for free. There was another coin that Hex stakers got for free called Hedron. Now, this is the really cool thing about cryptocurrency. A lot of people say that there's no such thing as free money. That is so false. I cannot tell you personally how much free money I have received since I've been in crypto, from airdrops and things of that nature, because I hold a certain coin. Bitcoin holders got a bunch of free coins when other coins were being made.
Yeah, whenever I was reading that, and they were saying, that they airdrop you these coins and stuff, that was another thing. And like you just said, people that say that there's no such thing as free money. I mean, if you really believe in, the cryptocurrency and you use the blockchain, then you can. That's money.
Yeah, and it's a lot of times there's so many opportunities to get free money in crypto. I still have yet to claim my free money in crypto for Maximus and Pulse Dogecoin, which I fully intend on doing because it's free money. There are people, if you're on Twitter, you can see people talking about having their rent paid off for a year or two from these free airdrops. These two specifically, the Maximus and the Pulse Dogecoin. So there's a lot of money, and there have been millionaires made from these airdrops.
Really?
Legit millionaires made from airdrops.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much money in crypto. It's insane. And these two coins, I think, are going to do really well in the long term. The one that I kind of like, just because of the meme factor, is the Pulse Doge coin. The one thing I don't like is that they stole another coin's name. There's already another coin called Pulse Doge Coin Win. So they kind of already took a name.
Maybe they got to deal with them.
No, there was a bunch of Twitter beef going on about it. So a lot of people were complaining about it, whatever, but nobody's really complaining now because the Pulse Dogecoin, since it launched, has already almost tripled in price.
Dang.
So, and it's only been out since the 20th. So 2-3 days. It's already did a 3x in 3 days. So
yeah, that's crazy. Like in the regular stock market, if you'd be lucky to catch, like an IPO dropping, and for it to actually go up.
right.
Most of the times they drop. So that just shows the anticipation and stuff for the crypto.
Right. But this is also important to note too. Similar things happen in crypto. So after a launch, you can see a spike in price, but then there's typically a huge dip, like a huge dip.
Yeah.
For instance, Hex, after its launch, it dipped like 90%. So the same thing happened with Ethereum, Bitcoin, pretty much every coin. So it's not immune to that big dip after launch. So it's still experiences that.
The difference is now more people know about crypto, and they're willing to buy it up. So, before it would go up high, but then it would dip, but it would stay leveled for years. There wouldn't be any more pops. But now since, more people know about the crypto, the chart is more active, more up and down, as opposed to huge spikes and a flat line. Huge spike and a flat line.
Depends on where you're looking. If you're talking about Bitcoin, kind of. But if you're talking about pretty much any coin that isn't Bitcoin, the volatility is insane.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Bitcoin has a lot of volatility compared to traditional markets. But if you compare, for instance, a lot of people like to shit on Dogecoin because Dogecoin is a meme coin. It has nothing behind it other than it was making fun of Bitcoin. But Dogecoin has outperformed Bitcoin in the bear market this past cycle.
Yeah.
I mean,
to say that Dogecoin has nothing to back it, yes, it does. It has our money, peer to peer. I mean, it's not federally regulated, which I don't know. Like you said, that may be a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, it has a belief. People believe in Dogecoin. They want to see it do well. And that's the driving factor. And that's really the only thing that gives currency value is our belief system. And
yeah, pretty much.
Slowly we're getting more and more people into crypto, but I think there's a long way to go before crypto becomes mainstream.
Oh, yeah. Because people can't accept change that fast. It's
100%.
Slowly over time.
100%. I mean, not too long ago, people were afraid to put their credit cards and their debit cards on.
Exactly.
Now everybody does it. Now everybody is paying with their phone. Not everybody. I've never once paid with my phone, but there are a lot.
Neither have I.
Right, and there are a lot of people though who do pay with their phone. So
yeah, I see it every day, pretty much.
Yeah. So I mean, people are slow to change, and that isn't a bad thing because just because it's new doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean it's bad, but you don't want to rush nothing.
Exactly, and so it makes a lot of sense that people are hesitant to jump into cryptocurrency because there's no regulation, because it's the Wild West, and volatility. Let's just be honest. People can't stomach an 80% dip. They can't. They see an 80% dip, they sell. Because most people do not buy low and sell high. Most people buy high and sell low.
Yeah.
So
and that's kind of the point that I was making earlier. Is how I was talking about the stocks going up and down, the crypto, the volatility, I'm just saying, like, whenever crypto was first out, it would hit a pop and then it would drop and it would stay leveled for a while down low and then pop again. But nowadays, there's, it could go up 120% one day and then drop 80% the next day, so the volatility is like that because there's more people actually buying and selling and trading it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the volatility is always. I mean, the volatility was a lot higher. Well, actually, the volatility is. I don't know that it's gotten higher. Well, actually, it has gotten higher because, for instance, Shiba Inu did a 12,000x. You would have 12. If you would have put in $1, you would have $12,000. So I mean,
Yeah,
it's 12,000x in less than 2 or 3 years, I believe. So one could say that the volatility has actually increased since the beginning of crypto because
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying because more people are actually buying and selling and trading it.
Yeah.
I've been watching the coins that everybody's heard of, like Bitcoin, the Dogecoin. I've been watching those since late 2018.
Yeah.
So I used to just see the little spikes on the chart. Now, if you look at the 5 year, back 2018, 19, those stocks were way below what they are now. Not stocks, those coins.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep. 100%. So, yeah, I think as more and more people get into crypto, we will see the volatility dampen because you'll have more economic mass. Just look at Bitcoin. It's a good example of it. Bitcoin, if you're lucky, will do a 2 to 3x in a bear run. I mean, a bull market. Sorry. In a bull market, you're lucky it does a 2-3x. Maybe it does a 10x.
Well, I read something in the news, not financial advice, that Bitcoin could hit 130,000 a share by like 2028.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me in that time frame. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. I think Bitcoin already hit its top for the bull run, this cycle. I think it already topped out at like 69,000. And if it does what it historically has done.
Was that 2020? 2020?
No, I think it was, it might have been 2020 or 2021.
It was one of those because the same thing with Dogecoin. That thing ran for weeks. Pretty much all.
Right.
Go ahead.
And that's because Bitcoin leads the way. When Bitcoin's in a bull run, everything else is going to follow and be in a bull run. When Bitcoin crashes, pretty much everything else crashes because Bitcoin is sort of dictating the market for cryptocurrency.
Well, is the Bitcoin is that in a place in the blockchain to where it would affect other cryptos?
Not really sure.
Is it a piece of the blockchain that could branch out?
No, I mean, no, because it's its own blockchain.
Okay. All right. I get it.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm still new to this.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
I know the basics, of the coins and stuff like that. Right. I'm trying to learn more about it.
Yeah, so Bitcoin affects them as far as price goes because they're in the same market. As far as technology goes, well, everybody's piggybacking off of Bitcoin because Bitcoin was the first coin. So everybody's building off of the foundation Bitcoin has laid. That doesn't mean that they're actually building on Bitcoin, right?
Okay. Sorry to interrupt you, but this is just running through my head. So Bitcoin is pretty much like the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ for the regular markets.
Yeah, you can say that.
That's the leader of that.
Yep.
Okay, I get it.
Yep. But as far as the technology goes, there's much better technology out there. Ethereum is a much better technology. You can build smart contracts on Ethereum. They tried to do it with Bitcoin. Wasn't successful. Nobody uses it anymore.
Yeah.
So everybody uses it on Ethereum, and everybody's trying to create layer ones, which is basically the consensus for the blockchain. And so layer one blockchain is like a fundamental blockchain that allows, you to build smart contracts and begin to use the blockchain. That's what Ethereum is. So there's a bunch of other layer ones out there that have tried to improve on what Ethereum has done. But I don't think that, actually, I know that none of them are actually going to even compete with Ethereum because their networks are crashing all the time. So I know it's kind of off topic from what we're talking about, but yes, there's a multitude of blockchains. There's a multitude of coins. The majority of coins that you see are built on the Ethereum blockchain.
Yeah. And the Ethereum blockchain is the one I refer to the gas. It's the cost to perform transactions on the network. That's what the gas is. And miners set the gas price based on supply.
Yeah,
that it takes to power the network.
Yeah, so they're trying.
And that's how you create smart contracts, right?
Well, you create the smart contracts on the blockchain, and then your smart contract will use a certain amount of gas in order to fulfill its functions. The gas is determined by the congestion in the network. The more congested, the higher the gas price. The lower congestion, the lower the gas price. They've tried to implement some things like EIP 1559 or the London Bridge to make it just didn't work. You guys can look more into it if you'd like. But yeah, that didn't really work to help the gas price. And they're trying to go over to a proof of stake as opposed to a proof of work. But that won't change the gas price much either. But what will help the gas price is probably going to be Pulse Chain. Pulse Chain is going to be a fork of Ethereum. It's a new blockchain that is coming out, and it's duplicating all the smart contracts that are on Ethereum and putting it on their blockchain. Main difference is two things. Extremely low gas fees because it's a new network, no congestion, higher throughput, which just basically means it can withhold more transactions. And then the other thing is the fact that it's proof of stake and it's also deflationary. So the main difference between proof of stake is this. Proof of stake and proof of work is this. Proof of work, you use an abundance of energy to solve complicated math problems to mine with cryptocurrencies. Proof of stake, you hold your coins to reinforce the system, the blockchain, and that generates new coins. So you don't use any extra energy than the power you use to turn on your computer.
Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, but eventually no, because they said that there's only supposed to be a limited amount. But eventually that's going to get it as congested as the other coins.
Yeah, so so Pulse Chain will probably get, and who knows how long it'll take, but it will definitely get congested after a certain amount of time. And then what you do from there is maybe fork it again, make another coin, make another blockchain rather, make another blockchain with higher throughput. So as of right now, from my understanding, that's really the only solution that developers have come up with to fix a congestion problem. Is to just build more space.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So, those two coins right there are pretty interesting. So, like the Pulse Doge coin, the thing that I like about that a lot is the fact that it is giving larger portions of coins to smaller holders than bigger holders Hex, which is huge. There we go. We got some Pulse Chain emojis in here. It's the Pulse Chain emoji. What's going on, Agenda 69? So I sacrificed for Pulse Chain, day one sacrificer, and then I was a sacrificer of Pulse X as well. Best followers, primes, viewers. Don't know what this is. But okay. Let's go to Twitch, see what we got going on Twitch. I was saying something though. Oh, Pulse Doge. Yeah, so the Pulse Dogecoin actually gives a larger share of tokens to smaller holders than whales of Pulse Doge, which is a really cool thing.
How do they know that they're sending it to, to somebody that's not a whale?
Because they're hex supply. Because that's how you claim it. You claim it, and it is able to tell in your wallet how much hex you hold in that wallet.
Okay, so the wallet's public.
No, I mean, so yes, your balances are public to a public address. But the wallet itself is private. Nobody can access your funds unless they have your seed phrase.
Okay, like I said, I got to do some more research into this. I'm very interested in how it all works. Like I said, I'm in belief with you about crypto being the future.
Yeah, I think it's very promising, and I'm looking forward to the two projects specifically that I mentioned during this stream, which are Pulse Chain, or three rather. So Pulse Chain 5, 4, before Pulse Chain, Pulse X, Maximus, the Pulse Dogecoin. Mainly, looking forward to those ones because they're free. Pulse X, the Pulse Dogecoin and the Maximus, because I can hold those long term, see what they do in the long term. I'm not losing any money. They're free coins.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes that works out.
So, but
nothing wrong with
that's pretty much all I have for today. Unless you have any more questions regarding blockchain, crypto.
Not this time, but I'm sure next week we'll probably get into something else, crypto related.
There we go. Free money is free money. I'll take it. Same here, man.
Hell yeah.
I'm assuming you're a man, though, by the freaking name you have here. So, Agenda 69. So, all right, guys, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to follow. Be sure to support us on all platforms. Yep, dude, you knew it.
Have a good night.
What chick would be Agenda 69? None. Thank you for coming in, man. We appreciate the comments. Pulse Chain all the way, Hex all the way. I'm a big believer in the Richard Hart ecosystem that is being developed. It's going to be very promising, I believe. But yeah, so be sure to tune in next Saturday, 8 o'clock. We'll be at 8 o'clock. There we go. Look at those emojis. I don't know. How did you get those emojis? Where did you get these emojis from? I want these emojis. I don't have these emojis. I want to be able to use them. Show me your ways, Agenda 69. Show me your ways. But yeah, guys, hit the like button, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll be back here next Saturday.
Hey, Luis. Good talk.
Yeah,
very informative for people that don't know that much about, the blockchains and stuff like that.
100%. 100%. We can do more of these kind of talks too. I think
that's what I think that we need to do. Get people up to speed, because we both have the same belief that, crypto is the future. So
100%.
I'll always throw in a little bit of the regular stocks.
Yeah, man. It's important. It's important to do that. So. All right, man. It's been good talk. Guys, thanks for showing up. Much love. Peace.
Peace.